Transformers fans, I present to you the lost Wheeljack. Okay, he's not lost, he's right here. But this is actually a Wheeljack that we did not get in the US. This is a Japanese exclusive, but it's not that old. It actually came out for Transformers 4, Age of Extinction. And I'm gonna go through this Japanese version of Wheeljack, which is much better than the one of Rise of the Beasts. And you might decide you wanna hunt him down for your collection. Be right back. Alright, so we only have one figure here, so this shouldn't take too long. But I do want to point out that this is, again, the Age of Extinction Wheeljack. Now, I don't remember in that movie if Wheeljack actually showed up. I try to block out most of the Bayverse stuff. Though, I will say Age of Extinction wasn't nearly as bad as Last Night, which I couldn't even watch. So, you might be like, how do you know it's bad if you couldn't watch it? Because I couldn't watch it. But this Wheeljack, you can actually see his head is kind of shaped like the Matrix, for God's sakes. But it's still a lot more G1 in appearance than anything we got until Bumblebee. And he doesn't come with a particular weapon, but he's got these very grabby hands that I wouldn't want to be grabbed by. And let's take a look at him from all angles. So you can see he's got very interesting shoulders. I don't think he's the Lancia Strata, whatever car that he was, but it's definitely a car and not a Volkswagen bus. And you can see he's got a lot of detailing, obviously the head, obviously the white, and there's some red on its chest. It's an homage to the original G1, but definitely in the Bayverse style. All right, his poseability. Let's go through this carefully because this is actually something that was lent to me by Tony and Rose from RetroCon, which is one of my favorite cons every year. They'll be back in September, every September, so you should check them out. They have all kinds of cool guests and Transformer stuff. But this is not actually, they're not paying me, they just lent me this Transformer, and I have to give it back. So this is not sponsored by them, but it's definitely would not be possible without Tony and Rose. So there he is in mostly a full Jean-Claude Van Damme. Because of the ball joints, it can't go a full 90 degrees. There's no real ankle tilt or swivel, but the feet are wide enough that you can actually spread the legs and put him into somewhat of a dynamic pose. He can kick forward pretty dang high. Backwards, you kind of got to curve a little to the side, but he can still kick pretty high. And then he can do a side kick. That's pretty good. If you want to get both legs involved, he can get higher. Now, twisting at the waist. Well, he can somewhat twist at the waist, though he's got some kibble in the back here. And you even have to kind of pull this back hood forward in order to have him twist. Can't go all the way around, but he can twist. Ooh, wait. You can get it all the way around, but you got to kind of maneuver things. Not the easiest. Okay, but I sit down corrected. I don't want to stand corrected right now. I'd be out of frame. So twisting at the waist, he doesn't really seem to have a gut ab crunch or anything like that. And if you flip these shoulder covers forward, you can make the arm go all the way around. It does bend at kind of a double jointed elbow, so it can actually go way up, and there is swiveling, so you can swivel this around all the way. The head also turns all the way around, and if you pull it apart and say light my darkest hour, it destroys Unicron. No, it doesn't, but it does kind of look like the Matrix. He's wearing a Matrix on his head, which when you think about it is kind of Wheeljack in the first place. Yeah, so a very cool looking bot. You can move his arms out to the side, you can move down, so lots of possibility of posing. He can be reciting Shakespeare. Alas, poor Jazz, I knew him well. We won't get into that. Yeah, his legs bend somewhat at the knee, bend backwards certainly, and you can actually pop off his shin cover, which pops right back in without a problem. It's just, a little snap-in piece. But yeah, there's not a ton that you can do with the bending at the knees. But yeah, overall, pretty poseable figure. I like him. Let's give him one more turn on the turntable of doom so you can see him from every angle. Ooh. And now let's put him into his vehicle mode. Which one thing I have to say, how much it pains me to say this about Bayverse style robots and such, is they do have really good vehicle modes for the most part. I mean, spot on, usually, licensed. It's not a homage to the vehicle, it is the vehicle. But one thing I will also say about Bayverse Transformers is there's usually a lot of plates. It's almost a little bit of shell forming, and they can be a pain in the ass. But this is Wheeljack, Japanese exclusive, very white car, very homage stripes on the hood. Obviously not a race car. This is a, it's like an Acura or an Audi. I'm sorry, he has a Mercedes-Benz E550, a car I could never afford. But this is the one that was released. It's the movie Advance one, which was an Aeon shop exclusive. I believe only released in Japan, but a very cool version homage to Wheeljack. He's got the redecoed head and the redeco overall, but he's actually from the Dark of the Moon version of Wheeljack. So if you have that one, you know how to transform this one. But it's cool. And I don't do a lot of movie versions of toys on this channel, but I'm okay with this one. It's got the right balance of, or at least the right amount of G1 homaginess. Is that a word, homaginess? What do you think? She's ignoring me. It must not be a word. But it's got the right amount of whatever that is for me to appreciate it. So anyway, I will put a link in the description if you'd like to pick this guy up. And I really hope you're enjoying these videos as much as I enjoy making them. Thanks again to Tony and Rose of RetroCon for lending me this toy. And while you are debating over this Wheeljack, you can always check out the evolution of Wheeljack over here, which chronicles his forms all the way from G1 to the latest versions. We will see you next time. As always, have fun and good hunting.